Hey everyone, it's Fitz with the Sit in My Car and Talk. It's another windy day, so let's do this in a controlled environment. Tuesday press conference just took place. Chris Kleiman went right ahead and addressed many of the concerns about the offense, play of Adrian Martinez. You can see the complete interview at GoPowercat.com. I asked him a number of questions about Adrian and how he's not playing the same type of football he played at Nebraska. If you're a subscriber at GoPowercat, you saw my analysis where I got into the stats, dug down into them a little bit, and showed how radically different Adrian Martinez is playing at K-State. Not just results, but the way he goes about playing. And it's kind of shocking at how different of a player he is right now for the Wildcats than he was at any point, it appears, for the Huskers. He came with a reputation of being a gambler, a big play guy that turns it over, and he's none of that at K-State. And in fact, this version has been so ineffective, particularly on Saturday against Tulane, that I think K-State would take the Nebraska version of Adrian. We'll see what Adrian Martinez does in the first half against Oklahoma on Saturday. That's a 7 p.m. game down in Norman. K-State's 2-1, OU's 3-0. OU looks like they're going to be very, very good under Brent Venables. I hoped maybe they'd catch him, K-State catch him a little bit early in the schedule before they were fully formed, but it's hard to judge much from playing Nebraska. But they looked fully formed against the Huskers. So we'll see what Saturday holds. But I know this, K-State as a whole has to be so much better than the Wildcats were against Tulane. And nothing quite went right, and Chris Kleiman addressed that right away at his press conference. That, it was a day where the defense was good and it needed to be great. It was a day when the special teams got played straight up by Tulane, and for them that's losing special teams if you lose your advantage. And then the offense really was baffled in many ways by what Tulane was doing, but I think we can agree that there's a lot more going on in offense than just the quarterback position, but the quarterback position was mostly ineffective despite what looks like halfway decent stats in that game. It really didn't have much impact on the game from the quarterback position. And naturally, Chris Kleiman wouldn't get into what if he doesn't play well. Would you make a move? He didn't want to talk about any of that, and I understand why. You don't want to dig down that far into the possible lack of confidence in the quarterback when the quarterback appears to be lacking confidence. So I'm all in on that. This is an enormous game, and I'm going to frame this totally different than what I thought I would frame it coming into the season. I thought K-State would be 3-0, going down to Oklahoma to maybe shock the world and climb into the rankings and climb right into the Big 12 race. Now I hope K-State doesn't just get blown out and get their feelings hurt against Oklahoma. A lot of us want to go back and say, hey, 2 years ago, lost Arkansas State, went to Oklahoma and won, and as Chris Kleiman points out, that was the pandemic. There was no real home crowd at Oklahoma. And I think the home crowd at Oklahoma can have an impact, but honestly, I think the home crowd in places like Manhattan and Ames and sometimes in Waco has a bigger impact than those at the bigger stadiums, being OU and Texas. I think the fans are more engaged. I don't know if K-State can hang out in this game the way Oklahoma's playing. I know they can't if the offense isn't more efficient, more physical, more willing to take a chance and make a big play. If you're going to play for 0 turnovers, it might mean you're also going to play for 0 big plays because you're not taking any chances. And Colin Klein keeps saying, I tell my quarterbacks, if you are too worried about making mistakes, then you're never going to be a good quarterback. Well, that's kind of what he's dealing with. Now, we get Colin Klein on Thursday, and so I'll be there to ask some questions, drill down a little bit more. But Colin's got a lot of Bill Snyder in him. He's not going to just spill his guts and lay it out on the line. But I think we all recognize that if Adrian Martinez doesn't start playing better, start playing more aggressively, stop being so fearful about injury or error, this offense will flounder until they find a better solution at quarterback. And honestly, that's not a position I thought they'd be in. I thought if they had to make a change at quarterback, it was because Adrian was making too many mistakes. Didn't really correct anything from Nebraska. Well, he did swing the pendulum way too far back, as I asked Coach Kleiman, and now he's just being too safe. And they need to find a nice balance in there. The GoPowercat staff's going to be down in Tulsa on Friday night for a little recruiting coverage. Then we'll go on into Oklahoma City area on Saturday. We'll be down there fairly early in Norman to cover the Cats and Sooners. There'll be 3 of us in the press box, and of course our own Zach Carlson on the sidelines with the highlights. We'll have a walk and talk after the game. We'll see how it all shakes out. Cats and Sooners. Sooners are 12.5, 13-point favorite, and honestly, I'd take that right now if the Cats lost by less than 2 touchdowns. But what I saw on Saturday, if this K-State team struggles on offense, they're not going to hold Oklahoma to so few points that they only win by 2 touchdowns. That's it for now. Sorry about the weather. Got to stop the wind. It just seems to be every day in Kansas. Go figure.